All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles, a great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Ba'ath Adawada, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Sunday afternoon camp, Lord willing, excuse me, that it be edifying unto the body and to the sincere listeners. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be the book of 2nd Esdras. It's going to be chapter 9. Okay. 2nd Esdras chapter 9, starting at verse 1. And it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he had made. Okay? So right now, if you've been paying attention to what's been going on in the world recently, okay? You have earthquakes and earthquakes and storms in diverse places in the world. And you have uproars of the people, especially over the whole war with Israel and Palestine. Okay, people are getting sick and tired of the people over there in Israel. Ultimately, they're getting sick and tired of you, Esau, Edom. Okay, Amalek is of your people. Yeah, they're the elites, the Amalekites, but nonetheless, they are your people, Esau, Edom. Okay, they're getting tired of you. Hell, even your own people are tired of you, and that's saying something. Okay. And you have people in the streets here in America. Can't remember exactly which state, but you have protesters from college campuses being arrested for protesting about the war and all the death and destruction in Gaza. Okay, goes to show you that that people are getting, even the Americans. The people that live here in America, they're getting tired of the bullshit. They're getting tired of all the senseless death and destruction. They're getting tired of it because they can see that all of this, because Israel has ties with America and vice versa. They're getting sick and tired of all the crap, okay? Because all this war, death, and destruction, all it's doing is basically making America look like the bad guy. Ultimately, and the people are tired. Okay, our economy is being ran dry because Biden is sending billions and billions of dollars into helping a country. In all actuality, the whole thing with Ukraine and Russia, and with Taiwan and China and all that other stuff. Those are civil wars within itself. That's none of our business. Yet we get in there and we get in there and get ourselves involved for no reason when it's none of our business. Okay. And everyone's getting, and all these other countries are sick and tired of America, draining their resources from their land. Telling people how to live, how to do this, and what is right. You just can't go over into another country and expect them to follow you when they have their own laws, they have their own customs, their own ways of doing things. America's that big bad bully on the block. They just can't leave people alone. So, Yahweh Shai Shai, is visiting the world which he had made. Okay, he's bringing about judgment on all sides, in every which way, shape, and form. Okay, and this war is Bible prophecy. It's going to happen. No matter how much you don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen. In verse 3, 2nd Esdras 9 and 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay? So this was all told, this was all preordained from the beginning, before the beginning even started. Okay? Because as you go into Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10, it says, declaring the end from the beginning. Okay? In fact, let me get it. Because that right there tells you that everything was already planned out before it started. Isaiah 46. Excuse me. Isaiah 46 and 10. And it's, let's see what it is. Oh, there we go. Isaiah chapter 46. In verse 10, and it says, actually, I'll start at verse 9. It says, remember the former things of old, for I am the power, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Okay? So his counsel shall stand, and he will do all his pleasure. So his word will not return unto him void. His word will come to, everything that's written in this book will come to pass. And we see it happening day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Things have been just amping up to the Spirit, and it's not slowing down either. But you know, you're going to have certain folks who are going to keep denying it up and down, and deny it even eventually to their death, to the point where the only way they're going to, know is they're just going to have to learn the hard way. Now, going back to 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, going to verse 5, and it says, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Okay? As the scriptures say, the second woe has passed, behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And woe means destruction. And what was the first and second woe? World War I, World War II, and the third is going to be World War III. Excuse me. If you watch people like Lisa Haven or Redacted or Canadian Prepper, they're telling you the way things are looking right now. The thing is that China, Moab, he's already here. Okay? And these other countries that sent their men over here, these so-called illegal immigrants, they're already in place. They're just waiting for the call so they can start tearing shit up. Verse 6, and the whole thing with the Civil War, this thing that's going on with Trump and his trial, and the whole thing, and the election is only months away. And if you've seen the movie The Purge election year, we're gonna see just how things turn out. Because now everybody's starting to realize that Biden wasn't exactly the best choice. Everybody wants Trump back now. But like I said, we'll see how things turn out. But, either way, whether it be the lesser of two evils, it's still evil. Okay, verse 6. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders, and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. In verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. Verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Talking about the elect, okay? The elect were sanctified. They were already preordained from the beginning. They were already destined to make it through this, okay? The 2/3, they have to die on this side. They have to know that death by pain. Why? Because they didn't choose to repent and they refused to return unto Yahweh B'Shem El Shai. They would rather stay with this world. So Yahweh B'Shem El Shai says, okay, you want to stay with this world, then you can die with it. You know? And even in when all hell breaks loose, the 2/3 are gonna start to realize, like, shit, we fucked up. Now they want to change, start to do right, but at that time it's gonna be too late. While these prophets are out here on the highways and byways, you know, calling out to the people, to the Israelites, not to everybody, because this isn't for everybody. And if you don't want to hearken unto the truth, no matter how cold or how harsh or how offensive it may seem, if you don't want to humble yourself and listen and accept it, then, you know, it ultimately the Lord's just not dealing with you. Okay, He doesn't want you. You know, as hurtful as that may seem, but, you know, it's the truth. That's why, even as prophets, we have to just, you know, count the cost of what it means to be in this. You have to forsake everything. That includes friends, acquaintances, loved ones, and your family, because even your family is going to be against you. Because as the scriptures say, you know, a man's enemy shall be they of his own house, which means your family, your loved ones. Okay? They're going to turn against you in that day. If they haven't turned against you already. Okay. Verse 9. It says, "Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments." Verse 10, "For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it." Verse 12, "The same must know it after death by pain." Talking about you 2/3. Okay? You have liberty. Okay? You have the prophets out here. The Lord has been giving you chance after chance after chance, time after time after time, but you still want to be, you know, stiff-necked, which another word for stiff-necked is stubborn or obstinate, just meaning hard-headed. You don't want to listen, you know, and the Lord has been patient thus far, but, you know, the doors of mercy are closed and the Lord's patience is wearing thin. And then when the doors of mercy are closed, and that's it, it's just time for judgment. And you just, like I said, you know, at this point, we don't give a damn about you 2/3 anymore, because we already know. We already know what your outcome is. And Lord willing, that we're not numbered amongst you. All right, let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. So this is going to be Matthew chapter 12. Matthew 12 and starting at 25. It's hot. And it says, Matthew 12 and 25, and it says, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." 26, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" Right? So, okay. So, you know, like I said, Esau, Edom, his own people are turning against him. Even his own people are exposing all of his lies and deceits. Even Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai is using his own people to tell the truth. And the thing is, if the Lord is using the devil, your sworn enemy, to tell the truth, and you still don't believe, then what's going to get you to believe? It's going to have to be judgment, death by pain. That's the only way you're going to learn. And then in the kingdom, you will know better. Okay? So, if you're not going to listen to your own people out here who are doing their damnedest every day to tell you what's going on, but you refuse to listen unto them, it just, by disrespecting the prophets, you're disrespecting the Lord. Because we are his mouthpiece, we are his loyal and faithful servants and followers. And the American dollar, at this point, it might as well be useless, because I think over 150 something, or maybe more, have dropped the dollar. And they say the Biden administration said the economy is booming. Yeah, sure, it's booming, like it's just going to shit, because as the American dollar decreases, that and you have the thing is that things go up in price, but you won't get that abundance. It's only less for more. And that's what's going to cause the people to go broke. More and more people to go broke. They won't have any money to, they won't have that extra change in the pockets to spend on doing things that they want. Okay, this is going to be Thessalonians. Oh, I skipped it. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. And it says, "But of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." Verse 2, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." Verse 3, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So, once hyperinflation kicks in, and people realize that the gas prices, the prices for groceries, the prices for anything, once it gets to the point where your whole paycheck is practically gone on a couple of items, when you used to be able to take your whole paycheck and buy a whole bunch of shit, that's when people are just going to start, getting desperate, getting scared, having those evil thoughts, thinking of doing things that they normally wouldn't have thought about doing if they were in a good case, in a position of comfort, where they didn't have to worry about trial and tribulation. Okay? The crime rate's going to go up. People will not be living in comfort no more. Okay? For the people who have lived deliciously, now they're going to be they're going to dwell in torments. Okay? Where it's going to become a real struggle for them and their families. Verse 4. "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness," because we got this truth. We got the playbook here, so we know what's going to happen. We don't know how or when. Only the Lord knows. But all we can do is just, we don't know how it's going to go down or when it's going to start. All we can do is just keep our eyes open and be sober and watch, as well as pray. And it says, remember, read verse 4, "But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief." So we're not going to be caught unawares. We're not going to get caught off guard, because we're expecting it to happen. Verse 5, "Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness." Verse 6, "Therefore let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober." Verse 7, "For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night." Verse 8, "But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation." Verse 9, For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Okay? So we're not asleep. We're not asleep. We're not ignorant. Okay? And we're not drunken. Drunken with the world's philosophies and its ways. Okay? Because we've learned to let what we've been taught in this world go and, humble ourselves to be retaught by this. So, Lord willing that we are of the elect and that we get mercy and salvation. Verse 10, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Verse 11, wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. So we are to be, as the brotherhood, as the body of sincere believers, ye akyam wa akwat, ye brothers and sisters, we're basically here for each other like family, okay? As a familial, functioning unit. We're here to lift each other up. We're here to help one another, to be there for one another in truth and sincerity, but, don't become a hindrance unto the body because that'll cause problems, Yes, we're willing to help each other, but at the same time, you got to carry your own weight, okay? You got to handle your business, okay? Learn to be responsible, learn to be disciplined, okay? Don't be, what do they call it? Well, basically just said, just like I said, don't be, a dead weight. Okay. Let's see here. It's going to be Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. And it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I say, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? Verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right, just making sure my phone doesn't get too hot. All right, verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Okay? Okay? And we see it right now happening, through a process of gradualism, that it's not going to tarry. It's going to come. It's not going to wait any longer. The Lord's not going to hold back his word. Okay? All right, let me get this out of the sun right here. Okay, there we go. So, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, his word will come to pass. Okay? His word will not return unto him void. He's not a man that he should lie. In verse 4, and it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Because of what? Because of pride. But the just shall live by his faith. Okay? The just, the righteous, the humble, and the meek. We live by faith. Hebrews 11:1, it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Okay? So it's like placing a bet. You gotta put everything on the line for this. You either go, as they say, go big or go home. Put everything on the line for this truth. Okay? And this is not a game of luck, because we don't believe in luck. Okay? Luck is a silly superstition, a fable. Okay? It's a worldly thing. This is a sure thing if we stick with it. And Lord willing that we're not, that we don't depart from the faith, that we don't lose patience, that we don't lose our wits about us, because even the elect, they're going to go through it. Okay? Everybody's going to get this ass whooping. But only the elect are going to have what it takes to endure. verse 5, and it says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, talking about Esau. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Okay? So Esau has subdued everybody under him, and the people are tired of him. Everybody's rebelling against him. Okay? The whole world is tired of Esau. The animals are tired. The nature itself is tired. Everybody's tired of him. Everybody's pretty much everyone is at that point. It's saying, it's time for you to go. Okay? All you do is take and take and take. Kill, kill, kill. Steal, steal, steal. You're the devil. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay is talking about, riches, money. Okay? Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? So, these international banking families, they have all this money, have all this wealth, and they're going to keep, like I said, they're the wicked. They just keep wanting more and more and more. It's never enough for them. And so eventually it's going to come to a point where they're going to be a spoil unto the other nations. They're going to be a booty. They're going to be that prey. Yep. And there's not going to be a damn thing that they can do about it. In verse 8, and it says here, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and the city, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So, violence must be met with violence. So you get back what you put in. And what has Esau done? Rape, robbery, and murder to everybody. So in return, the same thing's going to happen to him. Okay? What goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. That's in Galatians. So, as a man soweth, so shall he also reap. Okay, what you sow, whether it be good or bad, is what you're going to get in return. This is Obadiah, starting at the top, verse 1. And it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. An ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. And who's that's made small among the heathen and greatly despised? Esau, Edom. And these other nations that were confederate with him, they're starting to show their hate for him. And the word hate means to have a strong dislike. Okay? These other nations are having that strong dislike for Esau. Because they realize that he does not care about us. All he cares about is him and only him. Verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, that thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? See, that's the pride of Esau. He thinks that he's so great and powerful that nobody can stand up to him. Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, which is the highest flying bird, And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down to the ground. Bring thee down, saith the Lord. So the nest amongst the stars, talking about the satellites and all that technology that's way up there. Okay? Esau, Edom, he like I said, because of that great pride, he thinks that he sees and knows everything because he's got that technology. And he thinks that he's untouchable. And the Lord's about to show him just how foolish he really is. Okay? And I'm going to drop down to verse 7. And it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So, all these nations that were once your partners in business, they're now becoming your enemies. Okay? Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and, more and more Venezuela, because they're joining the BRICS nations. And I think, can't remember what other countries joined the BRICS. I'll have to go back and look at it, but a lot of these other nations, they're joining hand in hand with the BRICS, which is Britain, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay? And this is going to be Sirach chapter 10, verse 8. Just making sure my phone isn't getting hot. Okay, we're good. Sirach 10 and 8, it says, actually, you know what? I'm going to start right here at verse number 3. And it says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. And that's Esau, Edom. But through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So, through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, a city shall be inhabited, and it shall be established, and it shall it shall stand. But since we're under the rule of an unwise king, as you can see, Esau, Edom is just slowly but surely just tearing this place down. But it's all part of the plan because he wants to usher in the NWO. Take away cash, implement AI, people losing their jobs out to AI. You will own nothing and be happy. Okay? And that's how Esau Edom wants it to be. He wants to take away the working class, and he just wants it to be nothing but the rich and the poor. While he has all the power and all the wealth, while everyone else beneath him, they're just struggling for what little scraps they can get just to make it. Okay? That's the type of tyrant that he is. And eventually, living that type of life and that type of rule, people are going to revolt because they're going to get tired of all the bullshit. Now it says here in verse 4, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable, a wise king, and that one is Yahushai. Verse 5, in the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Okay? So through the Lord, so only through Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai can a man be prosperous. Okay? And he will give the honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because the Lord is the one that ruleth in the kingdom of men, right? He setteth over whomsoever he will. And right now, he's given the power and the authority to the base man, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, so right now, this is Esau Edom's era. This is his time, his time to rule. This is his world. All right, and this is going to be verse number 6. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor, for every wrong and do nothing at all by injurious practices. So don't be holding on to grudges. Don't be trying to get back at somebody, because what does the Lord say? For vengeance is mine, I shall repay. Okay? Verse 7, pride is hateful before the Most High, and man, and by both doeth one commit iniquity. Okay? So by pride, man, pride is an abomination to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, okay? Verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So, and why is that? Because Esau Edom's, his lies, his deceit, his iniquities are all being exposed. And because now the truth is coming out, Esau Edom's, his power comes from lies and deception. But when the truth springs forth, that's when he starts to lose that power. And he's been losing it, slowly but surely, and there's nothing he can do about it. That's why he's getting desperate now. So, whenever, and this could pop off at any moment, but, Lord willing, that this be the year, but we'll see how things play out this year. All we can do is just be patient and keep doing what we're doing. Fast, pray, study, and teach. That's it. And I'm going to drop down to verse 12, and it says right here, the beginning of pride is when one departeth from the Lord, from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his Maker. Verse 13, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly. Okay, and it says here, verse 14, the Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes, and set up the meek in their stead. The Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations, and planted the lowly in their place. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen, and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away, and destroyed them, and hath made their memorial to cease from the earth. Verse 18, pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. Okay? Verse 19, they that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him an honorable plant. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed. Okay? So, pride was not meant for man. And they that fear the Lord and keep his commandments are an honorable seed, but those who do the exact opposite are a deceivable seed. They're corrupt, vain, and are just ultimately wicked. Okay? So, and it said there that the beginning of pride is one that departeth from the Lord, and that his mind his mind is and his heart is turned away from his Maker. Okay? That's why we have to stay humble no matter what, because just even an ounce of pride, just even a tiny ounce, that's all it takes. And if the Lord sees that, the Lord could put you in a sore case. Because remember, I just read that he's destroyed the proud nations and placed the meek and the humble in their stead. Okay? So if you get proud, if you get, prideful, high-minded in this, the Lord could find somebody else to replace you. He can get rid of you and find a replacement. So you have to, that's part of the battle with discipline, man. Discipline is, there's an old saying, discipline dictates your life, and it's true. The more discipline you have, the better. Yeah, sure, there's going to be more hardships, but at the end of the day, it's going to be better for you because it's going to give your life meaning. See, as my father, he always said, it's easy to be a bum. Just sit there and do nothing. But in order to make something out of yourself, you got to put in the work. So if we want to be successful in this, in the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, we got to put in that work. Not just in, teaching and preaching the word, but in, working on ourselves, building ourselves up to be better people, better men, better women, better children, Because remember, like I said, oh man. And then, my dad had told me that when I was younger, and, it stuck with me, and he's right. It's easy to be a bum. It's easy to be a loser. Just don't do nothing. Just sit there and don't do a damn thing and let yourself waste away. Okay, now, let's see here. Let me get Revelation 6. Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6, starting from the top, and it says, "And I saw when the Lamb, who was Yahweh Shai, opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, and one of the four beasts saying, 'Come and see.' Verse 2, and I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer." And that white horse is it's parabolic for a chariot, okay? And that's talking about Yahweh Shai being on that chariot, and he had a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. And who did he went forth to conquer? These other nations, to subdue them, because when the Lord comes back along with his elect, he is going to, along with his elect, destroy their armies and subdue them. Okay, that's what he's coming back to do. And Lord willing, that we are part of that number. Lord willing, that I myself, as well as you sincere Akim, that we are those men, those men from the very beginning. In verse 3, and when he had opened the second seal, and I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." Verse 4, and there went out another horse that was red. And that red horse is talking about Esau. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And that's what Esau Edom is about to do. Right now, people seem like everything seems all right. Yeah, sure. Some people are going through a struggle. And people are starting to realize that this economy is shit. We're just working day after day just to get by a paycheck. But, we're still working. We're still getting something. But, eventually, even that's going to be taken away. And people are going to be in that, like I said, that desperate case and being tormented. Where was I at? Yes. So he said, to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, a great sword, an ungodly multitude, those ungodly men. Because when Esau Edom comes down with that great wrath, he's going to bring in them soldiers. And that they should kill one another, because, like if you read 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter and the 16th chapter, it talks about how people are going to get desperate. They're not going to listen to the people over them. They're going to take matters into their own hands and start doing things the way that they think things should be done. Things are going to get really, really, really bad, where the men of the Lord are going to need that spiritual power to survive it. And some of us will be martyrs. Excuse me. But it's all to fulfill Bible prophecy. Verse 5, and when he had opened the third seal, and the third beast say, "Come and see," and I beheld, lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Now, when you go into the blue letter, when you look up balances, it goes to the word zygos, which talks about, captivity. But ultimately, it ultimately means judgment, because captivity is a form of judgment. Okay? Yeah, we're in captivity right now. This is our judgment. But why? Because we transgressed the law. We didn't listen. We didn't take heed like we were supposed to. All right. Let me get another precept here. Let's see. This is going to be Isaiah chapter 34. And it's going to say, I'm going to start at the top here. Isaiah 34:1. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it." Verse 2, "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter." Verse 3, "Their slain shall also be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." Verse 4, "And on all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree." So let me go back to verse. So the Lord's going to destroy all their armies. And he's going to deliver them to the slaughter. Now it's in verse 3, "The slain shall be cast out, and their stink shall come out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood." So there's going to be a lot of, when that time comes, man, you're going to be seeing these streets, the mountains, or anywhere in the woods. There's going to be just, when all hell breaks loose, people are going to try and escape these cities and go out into the woods. And, these people, let's just put it this way. There's going to be bodies no matter where, there's going to be death everywhere you go. In that time, everywhere you walk, everywhere you go, you're going to see bodies over here, bodies over there, bodies behind you, bodies in front of you. Hell, you could go into an abandoned building, think nobody's there. First thing you walk in, there's going to be bodies. There's going to be that smell, the stench of death. You can actually, you know what? Let's see. And when it says here in verse 4, "And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a failing fig from the fig tree." That's talking about Esau's heaven. How the people that are up in high positions, how they're gonna just fall. Okay, they're gonna come crumbling down, be brought to a low estate, and rightfully so. And when it says that the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, that's talking about that mushroom cloud from those nukes, those ICBMs. Okay, and that's gonna be the ultimate and final judgment. And it also says in the scriptures that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So, what's about to happen, man, it's going to be, like I said, everybody's going to be scared. Everyone's going to be scared shitless. Even the elect are going to be scared, but at the same time, their faith will kick in, and they won't be as bugged out or as fucked up and as fucked off as everybody else. So all these people that are in high positions, your nobles, your vice presidents, your generals, your captains, or whoever holds a position of authority in the society, whether it be in whatever nation it may be in, they're all going to be brought low. In fact, In verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. And Idumea is the Greek pronunciation for Edom, who is Esau. Upon the people of my curse to judgment. So there you go. The people of my curse, which is Esau, Edom. Okay? So out of all the nations, out of all the heathen nations that are going to get it the worst, Esau, Edom is going to get it the worst. Okay? Because he's, you know, he is number one on the Most High's most wanted list. He is number one. He's the main enemy. And, you know, and as for you people who try to do whatever they can to save Esau, well, guess what? Fuck you too. You can die with him. You can't save Esau. I don't know what it's going to take in order for you to get it through your thick skulls, but you cannot save this devil, okay? Now we're going to go to 2nd Esdras. In fact, let me see something here. So, let me get a 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. Block you here. Excuse me. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16. Verse 18, and it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So this was Esdras, you know. The Lord was giving him these visions of, you know, what is to come. And, you know, and it scared him, man. And I bet it was a scary vision, a scary sight to see this. So, you know, Ezra's just wondering, you know, who's going to save me in that day? You know? So again, great beginning of sorrows, great mournings, and the beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. So Jacob's trouble is going to be a very evil time, a time like never before. Verse 19, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Amendment, meaning for correction. Okay? The Lord is going to use these famine, death, pestilence, tribulation, anguish. He's going to use this for correction. You know, to humble the people and to cleanse out all this iniquity. So, and drop down to verse 20, and I'm gonna drop down to verse 21 here, and it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So, you know, like I said, right now things don't seem to be so bad right now. But when things start really amping up and getting worse, that's when people are going to realize, like, shit. You know? How are they going to feed their families if you got kids? How are they going to pay their mortgage? You know, those house payments. People are going to start losing their jobs, going to start losing their homes. People are going to resort to desperate measures, man. Now going back to Revelation chapter 6. Revelation chapter 6. Revelation 6 and 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And when you go back to the word penny in the blue letter, it goes to the Greek denarion. And the 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and wine. So, like I said, victuals that seem so good cheap upon earth, they shall think themselves to be in good case. So it's going to get to a point where you know your whole paycheck is going to be gone. Your whole paycheck is going to cost you 1 or 2 items at the grocery store instead of like 10, 15, possibly 20. It's going to cost you 2 because everything's going to be so damn expensive. In verse 7, and it says, and when he had opened the 4th seal and heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see. Verse 8, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power is given unto them over the 4th part. That's talking about Esau's world, and the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Because Esau Edom is as death. Okay? He is the harbinger of death, the waster created to destroy. And so, and in verse 9, verse 9, it says, and when he had opened the 5th seal, and saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High, and for the testimony which they held, verse 10, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So those that were slain, those are those martyrs. In the spirit world, they were saying, how long must we wait? How long will it take until these devils get what they deserve? In verse 11 it says, and white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. Talking about the elect. Verse 12, and I beheld when he opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. In verse 13, and the stars from heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And that mighty wind is talking about that destruction. I'm telling you, if you ever see any movies where nuclear missiles hit, there's just a great mighty wind from that impact. That shockwave just blows everything away, just destroys everything. That's what's going to happen here. The sky's going to be darkened and the moon turned to blood. Okay? That's exactly what's going to happen. A perfect example, and this is the most common example, but couldn't be more true. Look at Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And you all know what scene I'm talking about, the one with Sarah Connor when she was banging on that fence and that nuke hit. Yeah, that's a perfect example of that. Excuse me. In verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. Yeah, because everything was being just, rocked and destroyed. In verse 15, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. So, those bunkers, whether they be bunkers here in America or bunkers elsewhere, but the bunkers here in America, they're not those bunkers are not going to save them. Why? Because I'm going to read here the next verse, verse 16. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, Yahweh, and from the wrath of the Lamb, Yahweh Shai. So when those nukes hit, man, they're gonna shake the very foundations of the earth, whether you be above ground or below ground. If you're below ground in them bunkers, you're gonna get crushed by all that weight from those rocks and all that and all that land on top. You're gonna be, and if you somehow survive it, you're gonna have no oxygen on there, so you're just gonna suffocate to death, ultimately die. But other than that, you're gonna be crushed. You know, so there's really I'm telling you, man, great mournings and great death are coming. A great destruction is coming, and you know, you people keep mocking and scoffing. Let's see here. Now I'm gonna read it's gonna be 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5, and it says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith, prove your own selves, know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. Verse 6, but I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Okay, so we have to examine ourselves daily, okay, to make ourselves ready to see, you know, to work out those imperfections that still lie within us. Okay. Excuse me, but ultimately it's Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that's working within you to remove those impurities. Okay? Because we cannot be perfected without affliction. All right? We have to go through this. We have to. Okay? Because this is what's going to build us up, make us better. Like I said before, only the elect will pass the final test, Jacob's trouble. Okay? Because they're gonna have that oil. They're gonna have the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Okay? That's what they're gonna have. All right? Okay, so verse 7, it says, now I pray to the Most High that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, though we be as reprobates. So, you know, live and walk with integrity, even though in the eyes of the people of this world, we would seem as like fools, or, you know, Benedict Arnolds. As my dad said, a Benedict Arnold is basically someone that contradicts themselves. You know, we may seem contradictory to these people because they don't understand. They don't have the knowledge, wisdom, understanding that we have. So even in Jacob's trouble, man, you have to walk with that same integrity at all times. Okay? So again, you know, things are only going to get harder, and you know, it's just like I said, it's for Yahweh, it's for the Lord to work out those imperfections in you. Okay, as gold is tried in the fire, so He can see His image in you. All right, and that's all I had for this. Lord willing, that was edifying, and you know, just keep praying. And if you need to afflict your soul, if you think you need to fast for whatever reason, you know, fast. Not just for the sake of disciplining yourself and strengthening yourself, but just, you know, fast for the Lord, you know, for a certain situation or affliction, or just for prayer, man, for prayer. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. I need to fast and pray more also. So I hope that this was an edifying camp lesson. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. I'd like to give double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone, from whom we learn this truth from. And peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Ba'ath Dabadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Ababa Bal, Shalom, Barakatam.